Hello everyone, this is Eva, and you are watching Israeli startup channel, ISUP. So today, Xyrosoft is up. So we are with the co-founder of Xyrosoft, Livneh. So it's very nice to meet you, Neil.
Very nice to meet you. As I said, my name is Peter. I'm a co-founder at Xyrosoft. A little background about me. I've been 15 years in the IT and software development world. So I've been in a lot of production environments for many organizations here in Israel, outside Israel as well. Specializing in specifically the database field and big data world. In my last position, I've been a senior database product manager for Dell software.
Yes.
And that's where I met my partner, Ronnie. Me and Ronnie are both around 15 years in the field already, and we've been doing a lot of projects in that area, specifically in the database. And we teamed up to get those capabilities, those unique experience and capabilities that we have together in order to solve those pains, those big data pains, in terms of just storing the data and making sure it's accessible, performance, all that, everything that comes up with big data in an organization. So Xyrosoft specializes in that area, just getting the information, making sure it's as accessible as possible, saving the cost that comes with storing that information, just automizing everything as much as possible to make sure the organization doesn't spend a lot of IT overhead, just to make sure the data is accessible to the organization. Basically.
So why do you think really business enterprise need Xyrosoft? So what do you think is the big issue in terms of database management?
So the big issue I'd say with data management, if we start from data perspective, so data keeps growing and growing rapidly, and what happens in the years, and it will keep happening, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. Data is rapidly growing in organization, and the IT becomes an overhead on the organization itself. So if you take some statistics, the IT spending at 2013 all over the world, $3.8 trillion. That's a huge amount of money that is being, it's actually an overhead on the organization itself, just because the organization has to spend a lot of money to make sure the IT is working correctly so we can get the business results that it needs from the IT area. Okay, so that overhead keeps increasing as the data keeps growing. And what happens is the processes are not enough automated. There are a lot of discussion on that in the market right now. The processes are not automated enough. The storing of data is still very expensive. In order to make sure that data is accessible as possible, you have to make sure it sits on very expensive disks and storage systems. And all that problems basically translate into overhead, which comes down to the organization making less money, just because it has to spend a lot of money on it. That's a problem. And what we're trying to solve in that area is basically 3 layers of cost saving.
Yes.
One of them is the storage, simple storage. If you want to just store all the information on expensive disks, you're going to spend a lot of money in terms of storage. What we do is we provide archiving out of the box for information that is less accessed by users. So by doing that, we can actually relocate the data to inexpensive disks and save a lot of costs to the organization. It can be as high as hundreds of thousands of dollars in saving, just because you don't have to buy that expensive new storage and just spend a lot of money on that hardware specifically. The second layer is by automation of lifecycle management. So the information keeps being created. There's new information coming all the time. There's the old information that, as I said, needs to be either archived or deleted. All that process is not performed automatically by organizations. So In order to solve that, you can do two things. You can either just manually take care of it all the time, which some organizations do, or you can spend time writing automation processes for each database and each application, which becomes a problem because it becomes an overhead by itself. So people are spending a lot of time, the IT business people are spending a lot of time on just making sure that automation and scriptology is always available to support those systems. So this is the infrastructure of the application. And as I said, this could possibly mean that an organization can spend months and months just on creating that automation, which is a problem for the organization because that means they are not doing anything else, or they cannot scale up and get more projects in. And that's another area that we save cost on. The third area that we save money on is by actually making sure the information is as accessible as possible for the real-time data, the information that is currently relevant to the organization. We can actually boost the performance of the application, and we can maintain that performance for a lot of time, instead of the organization just recording a lot of information until the point where the application is just not accessible anymore as quickly as possible. And by doing that, we can boost the performance, we can actually make the organization do more at any given time. And we also save stuff like backup or maintenance windows. We can actually shrink that time. So there are a lot of saving just by making sure the application is as accessible as possible, which is what we do. This is the third area that we save time.
Okay. So how many users do you have at the moment?
We're in the beta stage here in Israel. We got the product is already installed at several big organizations here in Israel. Some of them are known banks here in Israel. I can probably not state names, but we got banks, we got insurance companies, we got some service providers. We also got a few installations in the outside of Israel, basically in Europe. But those are our early stage installations. So the beta place for us here in Israel. We get all the information and all the feedback from the customers here in Israel, and then we're going to be stepping outside and just business development outside of Israel, just get the product to be visible in the global world.
Okay, so can you tell us about the finance stage you're in?
Yeah, we're in the process. We got a product working, as I said. We're already installed in several customers. We're now looking for a $1 million seed investment so we can actually start the business development in the US, Europe, and Asia. We want to team up with resellers around the world. We got a few already, and we're working to get more. Especially outside of Israel. So in order to get that and get the proper marketing and continue with the development of the other products and this product, and just enhancing the capabilities that we have, we'll need $1 million to get all that working.
Can you tell us about the business model you have?
Yeah, so if we're talking a little bit about, we talked about what we save. The problem with the area that we are targeting is that most of our competition, when they try to access a certain customer, they are asking for a huge amount of money even before they show the ROI, which is psychology is just a problem. People are not willing to spend a lot of money just for a future guarantee that they will save money. So what we do, we have a different way of working. So if our competitors ask for $150,000 for their license before they even start, that would be a barrier for a lot of customers. We ask for the list price for our product is $7,000 per year. So what we do is we charge yearly, and we charge a lot less. So the product can just already be there and save costs for the organization. So we do not become the overhead in terms of the the price of the product. So we start by very low investment on the organization area, and then once they start saving money, they also keep paying us yearly, but that's not a problem because they're already saving the money. There's a second area of business model that we're working towards, very important one, is the option to bundle our product with other products. So what we do is we are in the process of teaming up with storage companies and software companies, because we can provide the infrastructure with our product to their product. So let's say a storage vendor, we've got a few of those that we're talking to right now, they can actually use our product as an OEM solution to reduce the costs for the organization they're selling the storage. So by doing that, they can actually reach more customers, and we can open up the market for those storage vendors for the big data customers, the customers with a lot of data. Okay, which is not possible at the moment because they just want too much money on the storage. So by archiving that information, as you go, as part of the process, we can save storage costs, and that makes the storage companies be more accessible to customers. The other end to that is software. So if you got a BI product, for example, we can team up as an infrastructure for that product, bundle with that product, just act as the infrastructure. So that provides that software that they are trying to sell. They provide infrastructure bundled already with a product, so the organization doesn't have to take care of that when you buys the product from them. And that gives them a lot more edge in being able to sell to more customers. So it's a win-win situation. We bundle our product and distribute it with the software or the hardware, and they win because they provide the manageability of their data built inside their product as an OEM solution. So that's the second area of business model, basically.
So what is the vision of Xyrosoft?
The vision is to be able to optimize, to save costs to products, to lower the IT costs in general. It's not there's lately there has been a lot of talks about that. You're not saving enough costs on IT. Organizations keep spending more and more money on IT because it's like a black box. They don't really know what's going on there. So they always want new applications, they want new business intelligence application, and they want to make sure that the organization is as IT as possible. But that IT requires a lot of maintenance and overhead, and that the organization cannot save money because of that, because they have to keep spending that money to make sure they get all those computerized apps going. The vision is to save those costs. The vision is to optimize, to improve the accessibility of the data, and just making sure that when you scale with data, and it's going to keep scaling because that's where we're going, data is just going to be bigger and bigger as we go. When you scale with that data, we want to make sure that the performance is being preserved, that big data does not become an issue that needs to be solved, that it doesn't become the bottleneck for the organization. As long as the organization can keep growing with data, and just get more data in, he can get more results on the business area. But if he can't grow with data because the data becomes a bottleneck, then he really can't get more data and get more financial or business result out of that data. So there are a lot of big data analysis startups and applications going right now. Those analysis will not work if the data is not accessible fast enough, if the data is not optimized on where it resides. So by making sure that the infrastructure works correctly, you can get more business results from the data and just keep growing as much as you want.
Thank you so much, Neil, for the interview, and thank you so much for watching, and see you next week. Bye bye.